want to ask you, speaking of depth and weight, this is a good segue. We've talked about you as an educator. We've talked about you working in a treatment center. But I'd like to hear a little bit about you. And like you said, treatment in 2012, but obviously that didn't stick. No. But was that the first treatment center? Tell us a little bit about you, man. Like when did you start the treatment journey?
2012 was the first. November of 2012, I walked into Ethel.
Hey guys, welcome back to part 2 of Beyond the Struggle. Continuing our discussion with Matt Corley. As you know, my name is Jason Blackledge, here with Mr. Jeff Monroe.
You almost forgot it?
Man, forgettable.
I was a golf pro when I walked in there.
Literally?
Golf pro?
Literally.
Like Tiger Woods golf?
I played in some professional events, but for the Gulf State section. But I taught golf at golf courses. So the guy that you see when you come into the clubhouse.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And then I gave lessons, and I played in, like I said, I played in a couple of little professional events. Nothing crazy, nothing on TV or nothing like that. I used to tell people that though.
But in your mind, I got you.
Back then, I wasn't a golf pro. I was a professional golfer.
Yeah, I got you.
Which is bull. Right?
Well, when you said golf pro, I thought you said golf. I'm thinking like the Gulf of Mexico. Or I'm like, you have to explain that to me. Well, when you said professional golfer, I caught it that time. Not professional golfer.
Yeah. I brought my golf clubs with me.
Not shrimper. Yeah. I catch redfish,
I brought my golf clubs with me to Ethel.
Did you?
You got to practice your short game.
Yeah, that's how big of an ego I had. Got in trouble for hitting golf balls out of the Lakeview living room. Out the back door into the lake, right? Because everybody thought I was cool.
They do have a putting green in Ethel.
They do now?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we were hitting
did
golf
that
balls.
after you left.
Yeah.
We got to have something for the golf pros,
Yeah, they staffed it and were like, look, we need to.
So, ego out of this world. Didn't think I was like anybody in there. Would hear these, I don't want to say horror stories because it's part of my story now, but the eating out of trash cans and the going to jail and the prisons and the divorces, none of that had happened to me. So other than what Kevin was saying in education, which because it was relatable, right? The I wake up in the morning and say I'm not going to use and I end up using, that stuck. But other than that, I'm not like any of these people here.
Yeah. Right.
I'm a damn professional golfer.
Yeah. I'm not one of these drug addicts.
So I leave there, 72 days. Ryan Phillips, shout out to Ryan Phillips, bro.
My guy,
man. I love him. I love him to death. I still see him monthly today, and I'm proud to say that. He keeps me in line with a lot of things. He was my counselor, and he had just started.
Yeah.
Right. So I got Ryan.
You got rookie Ryan?
Rookie Ryan.
Oh,
right?
Man. I'd like to see rookie Ryan.
But Ryan started Thunderdome at Ethel.
Yeah.
I do Thunderdome at Abbeville.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of things that I've taken from him into my career now. I leave there. I go to Next Step. Right. I was the second group of guys in Next Step. So we kind of opened that place.
I used to manage the Next Step too, man.
Yeah. Okay. And I didn't get a sponsor.
Yeah.
I started working with a buddy of mine named Brian, and we even told Ryan Phillips this. We're going to sponsor each other.
Oh, God, I've heard
That's great.
so much dumb stuff like that, man.
So we worked together. Yeah. He had his own company, flooring company. We worked together, and we sponsored each other.
Did y'all live together?
He lived in the townhouses across, and I lived in Next Step. So, I was there for 3 months. Went back home to a terrible relationship. Hopefully she doesn't watch this, but she could probably agree by now that it wasn't very healthy.
So we'll just say unhealthy. Right?
Unhealthy.
Yeah,
Good.
okay.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
We can edit that part out where you said terrible and just
it was terrible because of me.
Yeah, that's why I already knew that. You didn't have to. When you said like, I hope she doesn't watch it. I'm like, well, I think everyone probably knows who the problem was.
Oh, you, bro.
The whole city of
not all
Louisiana knows I was the problem.
Yeah.
Right? So I made, I don't know, 6 months. I might put together 6 months. And man, that obsession was on me because I didn't do anything to get rid of it. And I started going through cabinets, and found some stuff. And I was right back on the train, man. And man, I'm so thankful for Kevin letting me speak at the Life Center about a year ago. because I got to make an amends to that building. You know,
Yeah.
when I spoke there for my year high.
Oh yeah.
I was high.
Mm-hmm.
I was doing stuff in the bathroom before I got up on that stage.
Picking up your chip, huh?
Picking up my 1 year
Yeah,
chip.
we've all been there, maybe.
Your
I think,
nerves.
you
It
know?
was your nerves.
Oh yeah, I had
right?
to settle it down. You know.
Yeah.
I'm tired.
And,
It's crazy what our minds tell us, for sure, man.
I got up there and spoke about the problem for an hour.
Yeah.
You know, I had no solution. But I
How
loved
could
it.
you? Yeah.
Yeah, everybody's looking at me. I'm an alcoholic. Let's
Solution.
go.
I lost the solution
Everybody
in the
clapped
bathroom.
after. I was like, I did a great job.
Yeah, I did. Yes.
Man, I'm all about recovery.
Yeah.
Right? And man, things got bad for me. All the things that I walked into Ethel finding different, I became.
Mm-hmm.
Left the house, living out of a car. Got to go hang out at Catahoula for a little while.
Oh, okay.
Yep. So all those things, and so
The best of the accommodations.
oh yeah, it was beautiful, beautiful.
3 high, huh?
Gated community,
Yeah.
right? And I get out of there, and I went to another facility. I don't even know if it's open anymore. It's a state-run facility.
Yeah, man.
And man, let me tell you, I was missing Kevin
Yeah.
because they didn't have that.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't have that one bit. It was just
Missing Kevin in general, or
just missing his education, right? You know.
Just went to sleep thinking
Yeah.
about him, like.
And lo and behold, him and Cal
Yeah.
walk in on a 7:00 meeting, and he's carrying a whiteboard.
Yeah. No shit.
Kevin.
Yeah.
And we got to talking. I remember him asking me, he's like, how long did you stay sober? And I lied to him.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I had a year, I swear.
Oh yeah, I was
You know?
sober forever. Oh, dude, I remember that, and it just like I remember telling people like from the first time I went in to like the second time, oh man, I had like 2 years.
Yeah,
and
I
it
had like
does-
2 years, and I just kind of step up. But from day one, after my first treatment, I was off to the races. But for some reason, I guess it just made me feel better to say I had time.
Yeah.
Like I don't understand what that part.
Well, and the more stories you tell, the time gets shorter.
Oh, yeah.
You're like, and then like 30 minutes in, it's like, yeah, like January to February was
Yeah.
like,
You're like, wait a minute.
Yeah, it's like,
Wait,
I thought you just said
now that
it
I
was
think
2
of it, I
years.
slipped
man.
something inside a treatment, so I was never really sober to
I hear
begin
that.
with.
I hear that all the time.
Right?
It's like
Yeah.
I was listening before you know it. You're like January, February. That's not even a full month.
Yeah.
Like so.
It's bad. And then I got out of there, and I put together about a true year. And then that delusional thinking started to kick in, man. Like, I went on a trip to Jamaica, and I was like, I'm out of the country.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't. That's not
Yeah.
not in Jamaica.
I can
Like,
drink, right?
Yeah.
We got there on a Sunday, and on Thursday, they approached me and said, sir, you drank all our rum.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was like, this is Jamaica. What are you talking about? Well, we only get a shipment a week, and we're out of rum.
No shit.
I guess I'm drinking vodka for the rest of the time I'm here, right? And then I took that and I said, hey, wait a minute. If I go on trips out the country, I can drink.
Yeah. It only applies to
Yeah.
the borders, right?
This is great, right? And then I'm not a basketball fan.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't tell you who was on that team other than maybe Chris Paul, but I knew they were on 3 nights a week.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll just drink when the Pelicans are on TV.
mhm.
Right? That's the thought process.
Yeah.
This isn't a problem. I'm just drinking. I'm watching the game.
Yeah.
You know, 3 tall boys and I would always get the jalapeno Cheetos that just come out. Right. So
Yeah.
3 tall boys and a bag of jalapeno Cheetos, and I'm just watching the game. And then
And how you knew I was messed up if I had a tall boy and some peanut butter M&Ms, right? That was my thing. Yeah, right. And so I told everybody, if you ever see me with a big thing of peanut butter M&Ms, watch out.
Yeah. I have a
Or
buddy.
scratch offs too.
I have
Yeah.
a buddy, man. Every time he relapsed, he'd never wear a hat, bald head. Every time he relapsed, every time I saw him, backwards hat.
oh yeah.
And I would tell him, I'm like, you got to tell.
Yeah,
We
that's
all know you got a hat on backwards. I've known you for years, never seen you, but every time you put a backwards hat on, like,
So if you have jalapeno Cheetos, that's what I need to
Jalapeno Cheetos,
watch out
baby.
for.
Yeah,
that's what we call a
definitely.
trigger.
Look.
Or I disappear.
Funny,
Go out of the country.
That's
If I'm in Jamaica again, like
Look, as funny as it sounds, like there were years when I didn't eat peanut butter M&Ms just because of like the memory it brought back.
Yeah, definitely, man.
It's
Definitely.
crazy.
And then it was just a matter of time. COVID hit.
Mhm.
I started a business, a handyman service. Moved to Baton Rouge, and found out that if I did meth,
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah.
could take on more jobs.
Yeah. Heck
You
yeah.
know, and I never had a problem with it. Never done it
Yeah.
before, right? So for almost 4 years, that was my justification. You're not a meth head. You're a
Yeah.
heroin guy.
Yeah.
You like to drink.
Yeah.
So this is not a problem. 4 years down the road, I moved to Lafayette, off and on.
Mm-hmm.
Spiritually sick,
Yeah.
terribly bad, miserable inside, nervous
Yeah.
disposition, all the things that they talk about is going on. But I'm off and on. Meet a girl who is now my fiance. God bless her for sticking through that. She didn't deserve a lot of the things that I did to her, but we're getting married in July, man.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Another
Wow,
crazy.
Congratulations. How long y'all been together?
So this November will be 3 years.
Oh man, don't say nothing to Cherie. She'll like,
Shout out Cherie.
Yeah.
She was a tech when I was at F.
yeah, yeah.
Love Cherie.
She's pretty cool people,
she
man.
is, man. You got a good one.
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
lucky.
Oh, believe me, we're still
Yeah,
trying to figure that
lucky.
out, man. I don't know.
Yeah, man.
We
it's
spent
like-
about 30 minutes last night talking about this whole subject, man.
Yeah, she's lucky to have me.
Yep,
Yep.
that's what we came to the conclusion of. Exactly right.
So yeah, man. I remember going to my brother's house, man, and just kind of surrendering. He knew.
Mhm.
He did a good job of tricking me.
Mhm.
Hey man, why don't you just stay here? Just stay here.
Yeah.
Don't go home. Go get your dog and just stay here. And it's almost like a relief, bro. Like I knew he knew.
Mhm.
I didn't admit it. He didn't say anything to me, but like that brotherly connection, like he knew that his little brother was not right.
Yeah.
And I think it was like 3 days later, he come home. He's like, "All right, let's go." I'm like, "Where are we going?"
Mhm.
He's like, "Going to treatment." I was like, "No, I'll just
got
go
this
to I
dog."
could just go to meetings. I'll just go back to meetings. I know what to
Mhm.
do." He's like, "Man, you're going to freaking treatment."
Yeah.
And got me off at Abbeville, man. Gave me a big hug. It's like it's yesterday. I'm like, man, I got to start over. And
Mhm.
he's like, little brother, look, just go do what you got to do, and you're gonna be all right. He gave me a big hug, and I walked in the doors, man. And for 5 days straight, I didn't want to talk to nobody.
Mhm.
I mean bugged Faith in group.
Yeah.
I remember a guy come up to me and he was like, this is a good group of guys, man. We're glad you're here. And I was like, man, F off, bro.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I'm not here to talk to you.
Yeah.
You know.
I'm only here because they made me come.
Yeah. And Faith looked at me on day 5 and she said, I'm not scared of you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it broke me like a.
Yeah.
I was like, wait, what?
Yeah.
What you talk? Don't you know who I am? I'm Big Bad Matt Corley. What you
Yeah.
mean? And bro, she broke me down, dog. She did. She made me cry, bro. I cried more. in
Little
that
old
treatment.
Faith, man.
Oh,
Yeah,
little old
She
Faith.
ain't got, and she's strong, bro.
Gangster, dude.
Yeah.
She was my counselor last time I was there,
Yeah.
but I didn't stay long, and I was exactly like you described.
Mm.
And I had the opportunity years later to speak with her. Matter of fact, at our last Christmas party,
Mhm.
sat down and told her, I said, I didn't stay long, and you might not think, but just how kind you were to me made a. I said, it was, you don't know what you did, and then she was able to tell me, I needed to hear that today.
Yeah.
She said,
Yeah.
I needed to hear that today.
I think that's important
Mhm.
too, man. Like in this.
She did a lot without when I wasn't, it was small stuff,
Mhm.
not to go on and on. But I said that because, like, man, I went in most times I went in that same way.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Same way. I did not, and it was a jumping off point for me, man. I realized that I either got to do something or I'm gonna just continue to be like this, and I don't want to be like this anymore. I had beaten my body down. I had my ankles were swollen, and just it was bad. I was about 100 pounds less than I am now.
Mhm.
And just broken, man. And I said, you know what? I'm gonna do whatever she tells me to do.
Mhm.
I don't know about everybody else in here.
Right.
I'm not sure about everybody else in here, but whatever that lady tells me to do, I'm gonna do it. And I did, man. And bruh, something happened in that place. we talk about the spiritual awakening or experience in the program, and when a 37-year-old man is singing at the top of his lungs in a shower
Mm-hmm.
at a treatment center,
Yeah.
something's happening,
Yeah.
right? Something's happening.
You were singing?
I was singing.
Oh,
I
okay.
wrote a song.
Okay.
Was singing in the
Yeah.
shower,
Nice.
and I wrote a poem there that is
Uh-huh.
beautiful. Like, things started happening to me, and I'll never forget, bro. My brother shows up. This is the guy who's bailed me out my whole
Mm-hmm.
life.
Yeah.
He's
We
my
always
hero.
have that one person in our
Yeah.
family that typically does that.
I'd imagine it was the toughest day of his life. He said, "Matt, I wouldn't pay for your funeral if you OD'd.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
Yeah.
done helping you."
Yeah.
And at that moment, I didn't realize it at that moment, but as my days went on, I said, "You know what? That was the day my higher power cut
Mhm.
itself off for me, because
Mhm.
Yeah.
he was my higher
You knew
power.
there was there
Yeah.
wasn't a real bottom as long as
Yep.
your brother was there.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, I looked up to him my whole life. He helped raise me. He was my guy, and I ran to my room because that was a family session. I had my family session with my now fiance next. And Faith, we were not expecting that.
Mm-hmm.
He walked out the door, and I was like, "What?" She's like, "Oh my God, you need to go do something." So I went and grabbed my roommate and asked him to pray with me.
Mm-hmm.
In that moment,
Yeah.
Mhm.
I had never done that before. I don't even
Yeah.
know what I'm praying to.
Yeah.
Right? I have no idea. And it was just like, okay, this is it. This is what I need. This is what's going to help me
Mm-hmm.
from here on out. This is
Yeah.
what these people are talking about.
Yeah.
And I was comfortable enough and calm enough and had a decent head about me to go in there and listen to all the things I did to Emily,
Mm-hmm.
which was tough.
Yeah.
You don't realize what you do until they tell you
Mhm.
what you've done.
Yeah.
And dude, I got out and I freaking did what they told me to do.
It's
Finally,
amazing how that
Yep.
works. We were
Talk
talking about that last time or a couple episodes ago. It was just like, the follow through after, the treatment part, which is not recovery, right? It's
No.
treatment. And we were just talking about the follow through and like, hey man, get involved with a 12-step program, get involved with a sponsor of that program, sober living, if you will, outpatient
Yep.
therapy, all those things combined, just the success rate that we see. I mean, and, look at you
And you
and
talked
where
about
you've
a
gone.
couple of them
Yeah.
the first time around.
Yeah.
And how often do we see that?
Yep.
I'll do 2 of those things.
Yeah.
And I'll get a couple of months,
Yep.
but without doing, really
Mhm.
all of us would need to follow. That's the most successful path.
Yeah.
Man, you said one thing that I wanted to, that I found interesting is the first time I go in, I bring my golf clubs. I'm a golf pro. I'm not like these other people. And I always talk to guys. It's like, you just haven't done it yet.
Mhm.
That's right.
Right? Like you just haven't done it long enough. Keep going.
Yeah.
Keep going. But it's hard. No one could have told you that right then.
No way, man. The way I like to put that is accept spiritual help or die an alcoholic death
Mhm.
or get a new girlfriend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
That's what we
Or
do.
better
right?
job, better paying
Okay,
job.
That didn't
Yeah.
work. Okay, spiritual life, alcoholic death, promotion at work.
Mhm.
Right.
We try that third thing over and over and over again until you were like, you know what?
Mm-hmm.
I got 2 choices here, bro.
you're out of
And that's
options.
all I got.
Yeah, and that's where it was for me, just to run out of complete options, man. I you said your older brother, your
Yep,
big brother.
Older brother.
How
big
much
brother.
bigger is he than you?
Well,
'Cause
he's
you're a
about
pretty
your
big
size.
guy. Yeah,
No,
oh, is he?
he's your size. Yeah,
Alright.
he's shorter brother.
Yeah.
But he is big brother.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't call him anything differently. Yeah, he's big brother. So
Yeah, man.
he lives in Lafayette, man. We have a business together.
Mm-hmm.
I talk to him on a daily.
That's freaking awesome,
It's
right?
insane, man. I go to his house. I have the key code to his house.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah.
This is the guy who told me, I'm done.
Yeah, he wouldn't pay for your funeral.
And it's funny and I don't want to maybe call him out, but when it got out, he let me use his bike,
Yeah.
and it was a Trek,
Yeah.
right? So he would call me
Oh, like a
like
Mountain
a
bike.
$1,000 bike.
Trek.
like a
right?
Huffy.
So
Yeah.
he would call not to check on me.
Mhm.
Where's
the
this
bike?
bike? Check out his bike.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
got it locked up?
Yeah.
Where is it?
Yeah.
Where are you living now? I want to come by.
Yeah.
See if you got it.
Make sure
Oh,
you
yeah.
didn't fall. Yeah.
I mean, like
That's good stuff,
Right.
man.
But I would get on that thing and haul
Yeah.
butt to CC's and River Ranch and meet with my sponsor, bro.
Yeah.
And there's not a time limit it should take. I think it should take quickly.
Yeah.
Get through them, but I got out of treatment June 28th, and I was doing my fifth step on July 6th,
Yeah.
and I was rocketed, bro.
Yeah.
Everything in that book started coming to life for me. It started becoming true. I knew that if I just kept doing what I need to do as far as this program goes, nothing was going to mess with me. If I leaned on the people that I leaned on now, why not lean on them later? I called Faith every Friday. It was Faith on Fridays.
Faith Fridays.
Faith on Fridays,
Yeah.
bro. And I would call her for a year straight.
Mm-hmm.
And Miss Danielle was my IOP counselor.
Yeah.
And she helped me. She taught me how to be a dad.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And I got a stepson that I was ready to,
Because she has experience in being a dad too, right?
or mom, right?
I know it's
That's one of those
Yeah.
dad jokes.
Yeah.
He couldn't let you not get a taste while you were here, man. You know, like
I gotta throw them out.
That was not bad.
Yeah,
a literal and figurative.
tried.
You laughed.
Yeah.
And you got us to laugh
That's
because you were
exactly-
laughing.
Oh man,
I
that's
saw it. I saw it in motion.
Stay
man.
tuned, yeah.
She just meant she would pick up the phone when it
Yeah,
wasn't
bro, she's cool, dude.
past 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
Mhm.
What's going on? I'm about to kill my stepson.
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk.
Yeah. Let's talk before you
Before- yeah.
get some capital
Homicide.
punishment, right?
Yeah, they frown on that.
Yeah.
You know, so
And it was just a. You know, I say this a lot. We want to fit in our whole lives,
Mm-hmm.
and then we walk into a place with people just like us, and we're like, "Oh, I'm not like them."
mm-hmm.
But once you realize that you're not unique, and everybody, there's nothing that I've done that somebody else hasn't. It's easier to trust those people, you know. And Mark, shout out to Mark Buto. He's my sponsor, and he taught me how to live. You
Mm.
know? I was sober when I met him.
Yeah.
He didn't need to teach me how to get
Yeah.
sober, right? And I
Mhm.
think that's a lot of the stuff that we miss is, I got to work the steps to get sober. No,
Mhm.
I've never started working the steps with anybody who was high or drunk.
Mhm.
They're usually sober already.
Mhm.
Yo.
We're gonna do this to give you the change
Yeah.
that you need and the way you think. And he taught me that. I mean, he taught me how to love a woman, you know, because I didn't know how to have a relationship with a female. Right, I could barely have one with males. He taught me how to job interview.
Mhm.
You know, how to present myself. He just taught me all the things that I didn't know how to do.
Yeah.
You know, and now I get to do that with.
Yeah,
you guys,
man.
bro.
Absolutely. And that's the great thing about this program is just to be able to give back and be that person to someone else that someone was to you, you know.
Yeah, congratulations,
Yeah,
man.
Thank you.
Congrats. Thanks for coming.
Yeah, man.
That's beautiful.
It's been great, bro.
Awesome.
Appreciate you, man. It's
I
good
didn't
to have
realize you
y'all.
were this cool.
Yeah, I am. You know, everybody
It's just for the camera, man.
everybody
Don't-
is like, man, you just don't seem like the person everybody thinks you are. I'm like,
Mhm.
yeah, I'm not. I'm a pretty cool guy.
You should
Man.
hear how Andrea talks.
Yeah, I bet. Or most of them over there,
Oh, man.
anyway, huh? I'll
Oh,
get
man.
them. I'll get her.
Yeah.
Don't you worry.
Oh,
but-
she loves you.
yeah, man. Look, thanks for coming.
Yeah,
dude.
thanks, man.
y'all.
Thank you so
Appreciate
much.
y'all.
Yes, sir. It was a pleasure, man.
Yeah, man.
Great
so-
to hear the success, man. Keep it up. All right, guys. Thank y'all for tuning in to this episode of Beyond the Struggle. We appreciate you guys being here with us. We like, subscribe, let us know what your thoughts are. And again, ultimately, if you need help, if you need some resources, reach out. Woodlake's there to help. Thank you guys for tuning in to another episode of Beyond the Struggle.